So, welcome everyone, and thank you for coming to our event, Future of Drydocking. This afternoon, we'll be looking at the current changes in the market that will affect dry docking in the future and how those challenges can be met by shipyards and dry docks. We will shortly introduce our speakers for the event and watch their presentations, and afterwards there will be a short Q&A session for anyone who has questions. Now, without any more delay, I'd like to introduce Liangwei Xie, Managing Director at Newport Shipping, based in our Oslo office, and Ingmar Logs, Managing Director at Newport Shipping, based in our Hamburg office. So, over to you, Xie.
Thank you, Sam. Let me share my screen now. Yes. Can you see me all right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for everyone joining. And some of the audience might have attended our morning session with LNG retrofit. And we didn't get time to do Q&A session then. And I hope this one, we will have enough time to have more discussion with the audience. So this session is about the dry docking, and especially the future of dry docking. We'd like to share with everybody our experience and our insight, and also throw in some ideas how we see the market is evolving, and also our solutions to deal with the challenges. So an overview about Newport Shipping. We are a UK company, a service provider for ship repair and retrofit. So our business model is based on a turnkey. That means we are not acting as just an agent or intermediate. We go into contractual relationship with both the shipyard and ship owner, in some cases with the equipment suppliers, so that we have sufficient skin in the game. And we manage a project with our on-site team and also global offices. Today, we have 15 partner shipyards around the world, including a fully managed shipyard in Turkey, where we conduct our projects. So our team has extensive experience in the dry docking and repair business. So ourselves have done more than 50 projects, and with many happy and returning clients around the world. So looking at the dry docking market now, we do see a few challenges that the clients are experiencing. So first one, the pricing power. Now, the dry docking market is part of the shipping market, but we know shipping market is very cyclical. But when it comes to ship repair, the cyclicality is not really that prominent in this sector, because no matter what, whether in bad market and good market, the vessel need to be maintained and repaired. And the cost is not going down. So oftentimes it goes with inflation, the manpower and raw material prices. So the pricing power, whether it's for ship owner or ship manager, it comes with the size. That means if you have sufficient size, then you can manage to get good price from the yard. Then we have a big group of intermediate, smaller size ship owners with only small fleet. They don't really often enjoy the pricing power against the shipyard. So this is the first challenge we see. And second, since the ship repair is not a core business activity for normal shipping company, because this is a cost center. So to repair a vessel, dry dock a vessel, is not a routine job, but rather an ad hoc job. And it takes the focus away from the day-to-day management of the company. And oftentimes, the company needs to send a superintendent over across the world to a shipyard, let's say from Europe to China. especially what we have seen in the past 1.5 years with pandemic. Lots of companies, they cannot send their own people. Even if they do, there's a 3 weeks quarantine. So that's a big headache, and they have to rely on getting support from the local. Let's say in China, they need to find people from the local market to help them out. So there's a logistic challenge. But even without that, and to manage a dry docking on top of day-to-day technical management is quite a burden for the owner and ship managers. And third, normally the yard will try to maintain a group of yards that they will go to once the dry docking coming up. But again, if it's for smaller owners, since they don't have that many dry dockings every year, so it's an extra job for them to maintain such kind of network. Oftentimes they outsource to an intermediate and agent, and that will create extra cost throughout the process. The last one is payment terms. Ship repairing is quite capital intensive. So normally the shipyard are not able to offer very long payment terms. Normally it's very short payment terms, let's say seller's credit. And it also depends on how strong the owner is when it comes to credibility relationship. So to summarize, there is not a very much good option with long-term payment terms in today's market. So how do we see the market evolving, and how we can help to solve some challenges going forward? In the following, we would like to share some of our thoughts. Actually, it's our solution we are providing to owners for the audience. The first is the yard choice. Actually, to be more precise, is the flexibility of the yard choice, because the vessel is trading globally. You have international trading, deep sea trade, but also regional trade. It's oftentimes very important for ship owners to plan the dry docking ahead, and normally 3 months ahead, to have the right location so they can organize the whole project. But it often happens that emergency requirement coming up and things got delayed. Suddenly they need a yard at a location where they don't have good relationship with the yard. So it helps to offer a wide range of yard network towards clients, and this is what we are doing. So over the past few years, we have built our own network. Right now, 15 yards around the world. The idea is to give the owner the choice anytime, anywhere, and we keep expanding our network, and all the projects are managed by our local site team. So this is the first point. The second is the transparency. Now, ship owners, they all want to know what they are paying for, how much they are paying for, and how the project is going. And with today's technology, if we think we are able to offer much more value service to owners with the digitalization solution. So what we are offering is a Newport Maritime Services website where the owners can go in, register their projects, and get their quotation online, and also manage the quotation process and pricing and from there. So in this way, we are offering a strong tool to our clients to monitor the whole situation, and it's much more efficient than the current way of using Excel sheet and email and phone calls. Now we see this is a transition going on. So for some time, people will still use the current model of communication back and forth, but we believe going forward there will be more acceptance to utilize the online technology that we have to offer. And for just to mention that for this platform, we have already got close to 100 users and ship owners registered to be there. And next one is come to the project execution side. So what we suggest is a turnkey model. And we have done this already many times with our partner yards, our own yards. So basically, the idea is that to offer a turnkey contract, one contract to ship owners from the very beginning of the specification preparation, quotation, and then on-site management until the final delivery, and then after-sales service. So in this case, owner has only one contracting party, which is Newport, and then we will handle all the relationship and contractually with the suppliers and shipyard, and also we handle the payment as well. So then the last point, we come to how we can help on the payment side. And with this, I would like to let our colleague Ingmar to chip in on this one.
Yes, also from my side, warm welcome to everybody. Yes, yeah, many thanks. As Xia already said a bit earlier, what we clearly see over the last years, when it comes to the payment terms, this is especially for small, mid-sized ship owners, a major challenge. And we as Newport, we had the idea and we implemented it that we can offer our customers, we call it an enhanced payment option. And this we have done now many times on many projects, and I can tell you the owners are using it and are very happy about this. Just maybe to explain it in a way, normally when we have a dry docking project or retrofit project, we are involved, normally let's say up to 1 month before job to be done at the shipyard. What we can offer the owners, it depends a little bit on how we have an internal credit rating process. We can give the owners up to 70% of the total invoice over a period of 15 to 24 months. So when the job is done at the yard, the owner, on this example we have shown here, pays, let's say, 30%, and 70%, let's say our rating is a good rating, is over 24 months on a monthly repayment basis. The good thing is also these costs can also include equipment, spare parts, and so on. So it's an all-in-one invoicing. And what we also can offer is that we do a part finance of the ballast water equipment, because we have very close cooperations to some equipment producers. So for me, coming from the banking side for many years, I can tell you this is good for the owners on the cash flow. This gives them flexibility. And what is very good, the requirement on the collateral which we're having, so we are not require any mortgage. The only thing we require a payment letter which has to be signed, and that's our main security for this. So what we are currently definitely see is an increasing demand, especially also when it comes now to ballast water installation. Okay, so Xia, maybe back to you or Sam, because now we would like to open the Q&A session.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Shir and Ingmar. And yes, now we've come to our Q&A session. So for those maybe that have joined us slightly later, if you do have any questions and you're able to access the chat function, if you would like to put your questions in there for our presenters, we would happily forward them on. So looking at some questions for you and for Ingmar and Shir. I mean, you've mentioned there is this environmental focus going on in the market, but companies may still be hesitant to jump into adopting new technologies. Can you give us an idea about how Newport is looking at new technologies in the market and kind of its own experience with them? Maybe Shir, you can go first with this.
Yes, like we mentioned in the morning, there's enough technology in the market which can get people confused. So we have to pick some ones which we believe are practical. We're not judging which is good or bad, but practical. For example, we're talking about LNG, and also ballast water is already a mandatory technology or solution. So basically, again, we use the same turnkey model. So we can organize the whole installation process and the design engineering, and we can help pick the right equipment supplies if the owner wish. And then overall, we have single contract with the ship owner. We do the project at our partner yards, and the enhanced payment terms will also apply to the whole contract value. In this case, it can cover the equipment cost as well. So at the end of the day, one thing is to choose the right technology, but also how to pay for it, how to finance it. And with the enhanced payment terms, doing the job and helping the cash flow. So we believe it's going to help, especially the medium, small size owner a lot. So that's how we see it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And with regards to the project management side, I mean, who takes responsibility overall? Say something, did go wrong. I mean, where does responsibility lie? Is it with the supplier? Is it with the owner? Is it with yourselves?
In short, we are the first one in line. Like we said, we have the skin in the game. So because we have the single contract with ship owner, if something goes wrong, ship owner will first come to us. But then we have to go to more detail about what the actual problem is. For example, if it's equipment that breaks down, it's a quality issue. There is a guarantee from the equipment suppliers. If the shipyard workmanship that goes wrong, and of course we have contract with yard as well, but we will handle that. The yard will deal with the issue. And if it's our fault, of course, we take responsibility. So simple answer is we will be the one to be first in line to handle these things. But more details, we have to look at what is the actual problem.
Anymore, I don't know if you have anything further to add there.
No. I think Xia said it all. I just maybe would like to come back to our digital platform, which we launched not so long ago, and where Xia said, we have now already 200 shipping companies registered. It's important that maybe to understand. We think it is another way how to do business. And we can clearly see, from the response in the market, there is interest in this very much. Nevertheless, we know very often the business we still do on the normal way, where we get an Excel sheet and give a quotation based on this. But we believe very strongly, and we are realistic. This is something which is a bit of a game changer. But we look into this very positively, and we will enhance our services or the platform more and more. And it's interesting to see the dialogue which starts with the customers. Maybe just to add, because I think this is something. It is different, but we are happy that we launched it, and we are the first ones. And yeah. It's something where we maybe hope next year when we have the conference and we can give you much more information about it, how it is actively used by customers. I just want to add this.
Yeah, actually on that, I just also want to add, like our title saying that the future of drydocking, but we don't just jump into the future just like that. There's going to be a transition period. The market is evolving, adapting, new things happening. Especially, the COVID, we really taught us a lot about how to restructure the business because it's really disrupting a lot of the existing models that how we do things. Like I mentioned, the owners' own people cannot travel. This is one very obvious, very good example, I would say.
And also what in one of our first slides, we have really offices in all shipping locations. We're in Oslo, we're in London, we're in Hamburg, we're in Athens, in Singapore, in Shanghai. So that makes it very, and who knows, we have a small also outfit in New York, which is also growing. So, yes, and we have in Istanbul also where a lot of engineering knowledge is sitting. Also in London. So, and as Sia said, we are, when Sia and I prepared the presentation, we thought, listen, this is what we see in the market and how we react to it. Like our enhanced payment model, for example. This is something we noticed, we saw, we got the feedback from clients, and then we looked into this and said, hey, what can we do in order to serve our clients? And, this is, so we are, how do you say, we daily, we look, what demand is there in the market going forward?
Yeah, and also, it's a 24/7 and 365 the business. When we are sleeping here, we have vessels dry docking in China, for example.
Yes.
So it's actually global. That's why the global geographical distribution is highly relevant now and going forward as well. That's how we see the market evolve, and that's why we built this global network, and we are keep expanding as well to cater for the demand. So that's it.
Picking up on what you two have just been saying, Ingmar, perhaps you can highlight for us what particularly are going to be the cost benefits for the market long term, who are now taking steps to invest in greener technologies and more sort of digital solutions. What can they see sort of 10 years down the line, for instance?
Oh, that is a good yes, that question. Yes. Listen, being an ex-banker and still have very good context to the financial industry, I can tell you one thing. It's this ESG is there, and who believes, that is a requirement going forward, which is good also. And I'm sure in the morning session, about LNG retrofit, I think that our industry, we have to move now. This is so important on many aspects, and this has to do also digitalization. But don't misunderstand me, digitalization is so complex. Our platform is part of it, but when you see the whole digitalization process within the maritime industry, which is already there, don't listen to it, but this is so much growing, and then the requirement from the financial market is there. But question 10 years, then I know our industry, a ship is a ship and it sails from A to B. So this will happen also in 10 years time. And ship have to be repaired. This is, so I do not think that we see so much. So, maybe in 10 years, we still talk a little bit about similar subjects, but this is how it is, Sorry, maybe that answer is not 100% what you wanted to hear, but it's a very complex one.
Thank you, Ingmar. So, you picked up on ESG, so environmental, social and governance policies that we are now sort of seeing more of, and there is more talk in the market about them. And perhaps you and Shea would just like sort of highlight maybe some points that Newport are doing to pick up on their own ESG strategy, maybe?
Okay, I can start. LNG is definitely a very clear, easy answer, but also we are following the market closely because the technology involves, in the ideal world, if everybody agree one technology, the whole industry support one technology, then that one will be perfect, and then it's easy. But the world is never ideal, so we just have to follow what is happening and just to offer whenever we are able to offer and go with the market. So that's one thing. And also, as I see the ESG is going to be part of a routine KYC between the owner and the financing. Ingmar, you can elaborate more. So yeah,
absolutely. You know, also what Sia said, LNG, when the wind turbine, we have partners. You know, this is also ballast water. You know, we have very close relationships to very good companies. You know, and as I said earlier, you know, we are dynamic, flexible. So we react to not to every movement in the market, but what we think makes sense. Then we you know, it's definitely. And we believe very much, you know, maybe, sorry, this is not the subject was Future of Drydocking, but let's maybe, if you allow me, just LNG retrofit. We think, you know, the market, as I said a bit earlier, I think we all have to move now. And yes, one alternative is maybe you order new builds. Yes, it's an alternative. But in order to reach the targets, the new build market, you know, we have to do something with the existing tonnage, which makes also economically sense. Absolutely. And LNG is viable. It functions. It's a bridge technology for the next years to come. And we strongly believe in this. And we think the market will pick up. It might take, you know, it always takes a bit, but then we think it's coming rolling, and we are prepared. We have designs ready. We have the engineering power, we have the right partners, and finance. So it's a nice package, actually.
Just to add this a bit, I mean, for new building, basically, I mean, there's a question of how much the market is willing to pay for a new building with ESG stamp. So there will be a point that the price get too high, yard get filled up. So it gets very uneconomical to have a new building with ESG. And also, we have to focus on existing fleet. We don't want a lost generation of fleet without any solution and keep burning heavy fuel and waiting for the perfect one to come. So that's not going to work because we're talking about a time issue as well. Yes.
Well, thank you, Sharon Ingmar, and thank you for sharing your presentations and your thoughts with us today. If any of our audience watching today does have any further questions for our presenters, please feel free to get in touch with us. We do have a virtual stand on the LISW website where you can go to, and it has all our details on. So as I say, afterwards, if you have a question that you want to ask, please do get in touch. So as of today, that is our end of our presentation on the future of dry docking. I would like to thank our presenters and for everyone who's attending.
Thank you all.
Yes. And please contact us if you have a repair job or a retrofit.
Yes. Good one, Ingmar.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.